You know, when we think about parenting, we tend to slap these labels on it, right? Good parent, bad parent. But what if I told you that in the animal kingdom, those words mean absolutely nothing? Out there, motherhood is this wild mix of incredible devotion, shocking brutality, and stuff that's just, well, plain weird. Okay, let's dive into this.
It's easy to get a little smug, isn't it? To think we humans have got this whole parenting thing figured out. But nature, oh, nature has a way of putting us in our place. The animal world is just packed with parenting strategies that are so intense, so unbelievably varied, they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about raising the next generation. And this right here, this is the massive contradiction we're diving into. I mean, on one side of the coin, you've got a mom who will spend almost a decade raising just one kid. And on the other, you have a mother who literally stands by and watches one of her children kill the other. It's a world where the only rule, the only driving force, is survival. All right, so let's ease into this. We'll start with what we'd probably call the good parents. The ones whose commitment is just, well, it's on a whole other level. Just look at the orangutan. The investment a mother makes here is mind-blowing. We're talking up to 8 years, where she's the teacher, the bodyguard, the only source of food. She's teaching her kid which fruits won't kill you, how to build a proper nest way up in the trees, basically the entire survival guide to the rainforest. That's one of the longest childhoods anywhere in the animal world. Think about that.
And, you know, sometimes parenting isn't a solo gig. In an elephant herd, that old saying, "it takes a village," is literally true. Of course, the mother has this incredibly deep bond with her calf, but the whole herd gets involved. You have these allo mothers. Think of them as built-in babysitters, bodyguards, and mentors, all rolled into one. They give mom a much-needed break and get some crucial parenting practice for themselves. It's an amazing system.
And leading this whole operation is the matriarch. Now, she's not just the oldest one around, she's the herd's living, breathing library of knowledge. Her memory, where to find that hidden waterhole during a brutal drought, how to handle a predator, that's not just trivia. It's the key to survival for every single member of her family. Her wisdom is the most valuable thing she can pass down.
Okay, get ready for a total curveball. When I say milk, what pops into your head? Mammals, right? I mean, that's kind of our whole thing.
Well, this weird, wormy-looking amphibian, it apparently never got that memo. Prepare to have your mind completely blown, because this creature has a parenting trick that scientists are still wrapping their heads around.
Okay, meet the Caecilian. Yeah, she lays eggs, but her job is far from over. For 2 whole months, her little babies make these high-pitched calls and they nibble on her. And in response, she secretes this rich, fatty, milk-like stuff from her vent to feed them. And get this, during that entire time, she doesn't eat a single thing. She's an egg-laying amphibian that makes milk. That is an absolute evolutionary masterpiece. All right, now we're going to flip the script completely. Let's look at the other end of the spectrum, where parenting looks a lot less like a warm hug and a lot more like cold, hard math. And let's be clear, these aren't bad parents. They're just making unbelievably tough choices in a world where there's never enough to go around. We all love pandas, right? They're the poster child for cute. But being a panda mom, it is brutal. They very often give birth to twins, but trying to raise 2 cubs on a diet of bamboo, which has almost no nutritional value, is next to impossible. So the mother makes a calculated, heartbreaking choice. She pours everything she has into 1 cub to give it the best shot, instead of gambling and potentially losing both. Now, take that problem and multiply it. An earwig mother lays anywhere from 30 to 60 eggs. There's just no way all of them are going to survive. So, how does she choose? How does she decide who gets her care?
Well, she literally plays favorites, and it's all about chemistry. She can actually smell which of her babies are the strongest and which are, well, not doing so great. So she makes a strategic investment, putting her time and energy into the ones that have the best odds. It sounds cold, for sure, but it's a ruthlessly effective way to make sure at least some of her kids make it. And then there's the black eagle. This is where the term sibling rivalry just gets terrifyingly real. The first chick that hatches is almost always bigger, stronger. And what does it do? It attacks and kills its younger sibling. The whole time, mom just watches.
And don't get it twisted, this is not her just zoning out. This is a deliberate strategy. By letting the stronger chick take out the competition, she's ensuring that at least 1 super strong heir will fly from the nest. And in the brutal accounting of nature, nothing is ever wasted. That dead chick? It becomes a protein-packed first meal for the winner.
Okay, so we've seen the devoted and the brutal. But nature also has parents who just tear up the rulebook on who does what. Say hello to the ocean's undisputed dad of the year, the seahorse. I'm telling you, this guy does everything. The female drops off up to 2,000 eggs in his special brood pouch. He fertilizes them himself. He carries them, basically pregnant, tweaking the pouch's environment, salinity, oxygen, the whole deal, like a high-tech womb. And then he gives birth through muscular contractions. It's a complete 100% role reversal.
So what if your parenting strategy was to not parent at all? Enter the cuckoo, the absolute master of outsourcing. It's what we call a brood parasite, and its approach is, you could say, equal parts lazy and brilliant.
So here's the game plan. The cuckoo mom stakes out the nest of some poor, unsuspecting bird. When the coast is clear, she swoops in, lays an egg that looks almost identical to the host's, and then she's gone. The foster parents are totally fooled and they raise this imposter as their own. But the con gets even darker. As soon as that cuckoo chick hatches, its first instinct is to push all the other eggs and any other babies right out of the nest to their death. Why? To make sure it gets every single scrap of food.
Okay, so we've seen the incredibly devoted, the shockingly brutal, and the just plain bizarre. What does this all mean? What's the big lesson here? I think the ultimate lesson is our human labels of good and bad just don't fit. They're meaningless out here. We can look at a black eagle and call it cruel, or an orangutan and call it loving, but nature doesn't care about our morals. At the end of the day, there are only successful strategies. Every single thing we've talked about, from group babysitting to sibling murder, is just an evolutionary answer to one question. How do I make sure my genes get passed on in a world that's trying to stop me at every turn? And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. Looking at all this, it kind of forces you to turn the mirror back on ourselves, doesn't it? Is parenting really about love? Or is love just the very human word we invented for what is ultimately nature's most successful survival strategy?